Okay, give me one moment. It's not. Okay. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Oh, nope, it's back up. Are we gonna be doing a bit of siege afterwards? Bit of siege afterwards, so. Are they starting on their Twitch side of things? Oh. Waiting for Ubisoft. For Ubisoft. Of course we're waiting for Ubisoft. Are we not waiting? Hello. Good. Just waiting for the stream to go. No, nothing on their side. It says it's live. Oh, hold up. Maybe. I'll think about it. Whoa, 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 whoa. There are so many things happening. What's happening? Why are they all lacking? I don't think this is supposed to happen. Entry 1, entry 2, clubhouse vault. Objective A left, objective A right. Died for premiums, what the hell? It doesn't add any to me. And then said there would be drops coming, but maybe I'm missing something. Okay, it seems like everything's back to normal. We got 5 minutes. We have down the wait. Looks like there's also going to be a game on it. So that's probably how they're going to present it. That's how I would think. What the? Why is Sentry carrying a hammer? Expecting number to go up bit by little bit. Number to go up bit by little bit. I would just play Siege, but I'm honestly afraid that even if I play Siege, I think we would run out of time and miss it. Vault is where they're doing the ticket thing. Where you get in, I would say. There's Flores. I don't know if the cameras are supposed to do this.
The world needs elite operators. Heroes to protect the innocent. Specialists to fight terror.
Oh. Needs ice cubes up there.
The moment is now. Join Rainbow.
Ooh, it's starting and it's a bit laggy.
The day is finally here. And the time has almost come for you to see the next evolution of Rainbow Six Siege. Welcome to the Siege X Showcase. Woo! Awesome. My name is Patricia Somerset, and today I am here with a champion-tiered squad of developers, casters, and creators to show you what Siege X is all about. You can think of me as a squad leader. Shouldn't be too much of a stretch. As the voice of Ash, I'm used to delivering commanding lines.
You're Ash.
So how about this one? All right, operators. You've trained for this. You're ready for this. The mission starts now.
Here we go. It's our repel.
48 of your favorite content creators have assembled here in Atlanta to usher in an
Varsity's here.
new era of Siege. Folks, this is the Siege X Showcase. We'll be starting off showing those content creators. First up was Team Skittles. Team Meaty Marley will join next. And get loud for your favorite content creators.
We got a lot of familiar faces on that roster alone, what we even previously saw from Team Skittles, so I'm excited to see what we got through and through to see the rest of these teams.
There are a lot of Brazilian content creators that you might be familiar with. It's Team Raza up next.
Got Team Brazil mixing with a little bit from all around the globe.
Team Pestely's gonna join them next, walking out of the large X. I'm gonna be honest, I know there's a lot of you here. You gotta be louder than that. Come on.
You know, we just
That's better.
We just talked about Team Brazil. Now we got Team A and Z coming through.
There's a lot of players that'll be coming out, 48 in total. Some familiar faces, some newer to our scene, but I mean, hey, it's a new era for our game. Team Spoit is up next.
No, we've talked about Spoit a lot, but there's some phenomenal controller players coming from that Xbox scene here.
That controller player, by the way, there's a bunch of them on Stable Ronaldo, the next team walking out.
You know, I saw Kiki warming up. She's looking strong, but they also have Frankie there, Diamond 1.
Some familiar faces that you might recognize of this group walking out. The next is Team Lacey.
Very big names coming alive right there as we see one of our own right there with Uzi. That's my boy.
Uzi should be a familiar face for those of you that follow along online. And Team Pengu, a team of names that you've seen and heard before.
Kudos.
I think that's the controller players you were talking about.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't see Pengu just yet.
I don't see Pengu. I used to work with him. You used to play against him. My name's Intero. I'm joined by Laxing. We've been long-standing members of this community, and we are happy to welcome you in to what might be the most exciting thing we've ever done in Siege. On the left side of your screen, this side, because we're mirrored, you're gonna see what we're getting up to today. We're gonna be starting off with a new game mode. You heard it here. Not just Siege, but something brand new. After that, we're gonna talk about updates to the core of Siege, the game that we know and love and have spent much of the last 10 years playing. And then how about we finish off by showing those changes in action in Siege X in a 5v5
show.
Honestly, Parker, I am so excited to say the least. I don't know which one I'm more excited for. There's so much that we are going to be showing and exploring. And again, I am just absolutely thrilled to be here with you.
We've got to run a tight ship, so both of us are talkers, so we're gonna have to be a little bit brief. But before we get into the action, I'm gonna need your help. Do me a favor, connect your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts, because later on in the day, we'll be announcing a very special drop for everybody that's watching through either this stream or one of our partnered streams. But before we unveil what it is, make sure your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts are linked together. I, as well, am very excited.
I think that's the only way to put it, and put the emphasis on the X.
Yeah. It's going to be a quick day today. It's going to fly by like no tomorrow. And there's a lot to unveil. Of course, a new game mode is something that will surprise people. I think that the updates to the game are going to be pretty spectacular as well. But enough from us. How about we send it to two of the greatest minds at Ubisoft who have helped make Siege X possible, Alex and Joshua.
First of all, let's hear for Ash. I mean Patricia, but it's amazing to have the voice of Ash here today with us. Welcome to the showcase. My name is Alex Karpazis, creative director of Siege, and today is the day we finally unveil Siege X.
And I'm Joshua Mills, game director. After 3 years of work, the wait is over. And we're taking the core Siege experience to the next level.
We have a ton of details to share with you about how Siege is evolving with exciting updates like modernized maps, an audio overhaul, advanced rappel, and much, much more.
Let's go!
In a few minutes, you will see live gameplay of those changes. But before that, we have a very first SiegeX trailer to share with you. This is the new era of Siege.
Let's go!
I got all my soldiers on the need to know. Once I get a green, we all on
Dual
beast
Front
mode.
66, exclusive new map for it. A mix of both. Kinetic objectives. New environmental destruction. You can find Let's go! Let's go!
That's
Yes!
a lot to take in. That's why, over the next few hours, we'll cover all of it. We have 48 content creators around us getting set up right now with 4 live matches. And if you're quick with the math, then you've noticed that something quite doesn't add up. That's because they will be playing our brand new 6 versus 6 game mode, the first permanent new game mode since the launch of Siege. We've taken the strategy, teamwork, high-stakes gameplay that make Rainbow Six Siege so special and built a completely new game mode that's designed to push the limits of what Siege can be. Get ready for strategic plays, unexpected twists, and all-out action. This is Dual Front.
Dual Front is the culmination of years of hard work by our incredibly dedicated and talented team. They explored many different avenues and experimented with expanding the very core of Siege. In the end, the process came down to asking ourselves a very simple question. What if? What if we could expand the size of squads and have attackers and defenders work together? What if we had one persistent round to settle the outcome of a match with less downtime? What if we could expand the narrative and universe in-game seasonally? What if? One of the answers to these questions was to design a brand new, ever-evolving map where the action takes place. Welcome to District.
Hello. Those walls. Capture the enemy base while defending your front A. Seems to be so. Front B. So these are fronts. I really need help with this one. Hey, Liv. Good. Oh. No, yeah.
District is a new map created exclusively for Dual Front and built to change with ongoing updates. This map is uniquely designed to support the exciting gameplay of Dual Front and create new possibilities we've never seen before in Siege. Let's break it down. 2 symmetrical fronts, each featuring 3 sectors, set up the main framework of the map. Teams must capture one front while simultaneously defending the other as they work their way deeper and deeper into enemy territory. The ultimate goal? Reach the final sector and destroy the prototype in the enemy's HQ. The map's layout balances open areas and strategic choke points, demanding coordination and adaptability. Oh, and when I say open areas, this also includes outside. Players will now be able to move between indoor and outdoor spaces, extending their defenses beyond the walls of the building and setting up for some devastating ambushes. So if you don't drone, it's time to start. If the enemy does catch you off guard and eliminates you, you will be able to return to the fight as your currently selected operator or select a different operator for a tactical adjustment. Success hinges on balancing offense, defense, and team composition
My day is
while
good.
seizing every opportunity to lead your team to victory.
I'm doing fine.
Which brings us to the neutral sector, a central area where a
I thought I
time-limited
answered.
assignment will offer you the chance to shift the momentum of battle. Here's a preview of our first seasonal assignment.
Intel has zeroed in on an available assignment in the neutral sector. The enemy has started the extraction. Move to intercept. Op 4 is progressing with the assignment. Move to resecure. Well done. Proceed to extraction. Excellent work. You've completed the assignment.
New assignment every season. So the first one, I'm
The
guessing.
neutral sector is a high-stakes conflict zone where bold plays lead to game-changing rewards. Players can tackle the time-limited assignment that will grant valuable bonuses. It's important to keep in mind that taking this risk means leaving key positions open, as every operator participating in the assignment is one less operator in your attack or defense frontline. The race to secure these objectives is intense, and success in the neutral sector can tip the scales of victory, making it a battleground where split-second decisions and daring strategies can define the match. With each new season, players can expect a new assignment in Dual Front. This means new narrative, gameplay, and neutral sector map updates.
Dual Front was built from the ground up to use the strengths of Siege, while adding new twists. If you're new to Siege, this is a perfect game mode to play. Everyone is on a level playing field with a single new map to learn. There's also a limited operator pool, allowing players to focus on a smaller roster. We will be changing the operators in this pool twice a season, so that a new exciting meta is just around the corner.
Okay.
Finally, we all know that every life is a lesson. Respawn is an important part of this mode, allowing players to experiment and learn through play. You can join the closed beta later today on PC and current-gen consoles.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Your feedback will help us release the best experience for CJAX.
Now that you know what Dual Front is, it's time to see it in action. Let's kick it over. Let's kick it over to our legendary casters and see your favorite creators exploring and discovering all Dual Front has to offer right now.
Is it gonna, wait, is this on a test?
Thank you
zone?
so very much. The new permanent game mode that we were sworn to secrecy on, we couldn't talk about it. They said, you're not allowed to. And we said, okay, you know what? I want to hear how loud you can get. Now, remember when I said that there would be a surprise later on? Joshua just told you straight up, you can play Dual Front today. All you need to do is connect your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts, and then watch about 30 minutes either on this stream or on one of the partnered streams, and you will get a Twitch drop of a beta code to try Dual Front. Servers go live when we wrap up here, so in just a couple hours.
Okay.
And it'll be available on PC and current gen consoles. Kind of sucks for the people in the audience that you don't get to play, huh? Yeah, well, that's okay.
You know,
Don't boo me, you're excited. Hey, hey, hey. But how excited are you for Dual Front? How excited are you for that, what looked like a weapon inspection?
Weapon
They got very, very loud.
I mean, respectfully so. You know, we finally now can inspect it. But I mean, for Dual Front specifically, I did get to try it. And I'm jealous that they get to play it now, and I got to sit here and talk about it because I truly had so much fun within that time frame that I was able to play. You didn't get to play.
I didn't get to play
you
it.
Still don't know what it's like.
I have
but
no idea.
Truthfully, it's a wonderful game mode.
Would you say you were excited?
I was more than excited.
Wonderful. We've got 48 content creators here to take us through Dual Front, and in just a moment, we'll be getting into the game. And honestly, because I haven't played it, am just as eager to see it in action as all of you are. We'll be going through how the actual objectives progress. How does that neutral sector actually work? What are the rewards that they get? And how does the matchup ebb and flow? And the one thing that I am most particularly looking forward to is you and I first started playing Siege in year one. We have got to see this game grow from the very beginning. And if you go back and you look at Siege as a regular game, the way that it was played back in 2016 is very different from the way it's played now. I have no doubt that Dual Front is going to function the same way. Now, in just a couple seconds, we'll intro our very first set of teams, and it will be fascinating to see how they tackle our newest permanent game mode in Siegex. What are your expectations before we get into the match?
To be honest, there's no expectations that can be met, truthfully, because this is a new game mode. This is an undeveloped area where people are going to be figuring out. We're going to be understanding what it's going to look like, what we can see.
Team Lacey and Team Stable Ronaldo will be the first set of teams. We are in the operator
Team
selection
Alpha,
phase,
Team Bravo,
seconds out from the first look at Dual Front. Operators are locked in. Are you ready for the next era of Siege? Folks, let's get underway with our first matchup of Dual Front.
So this is already super unique. You know, when you start, you have the 6 operators that you are choosing from. I believe, if I'm not wrong, you will always be at the front, so you can always feel like you are the leader in this scenario, leading your team. But again, what's so unique about this is when you think about Siege as a whole, it's always been 5v5. Now you are adding that key element of bringing a 6th player onto that squad, which allows so many different ways to approach Siege and how you want to play it. And again, another big thing is you can mesh attackers with defenders.
Now, while you had some hands-on experience, and you are a former pro player and a former world champion, it's not your expertise that we're going to lean on here, Gabe. We have brought up both Alex and Josh from the keynote to help us understand the way that this works. Gentlemen, first things first. What a day. What a day. I mean, I think you were prepared for the audience to get loud, but would you say you were a little caught off guard with the enthusiasm that we're seeing?
I mean, we've been waiting for this moment for 3 years now, and we're still not prepared for it. This is really exciting. The teams pour their hearts into this, and now we get to see it live in action.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's always a reaction, right? You hear the people, you get to experience that full hand, and it just feels so awesome to finally be talking about all this.
I'm going upstairs,
Now, the way that you conceptualize this game mode being played might differ from what we see today. But is it fair to say, Alex, that you're expecting players to literally problem solve as it goes along, and that there isn't really a defined correct way to play based on when you built the game?
I mean, we've been playtesting this for over a year now, and we're still learning new things, new combinations of operators. This is the first time we're taking attackers and defenders together on the same team, but we're keeping that attack and defend philosophy alive, where you have one lane, one front to push, and one front to defend. So yeah, it's all new.
Well, and as I was saying, you know, the key element of adding a sixth player to that squad, I mean, Siege for the past 10 years has been 5. I mean, what was the decision to bring that extra element of surprise and putting a sixth member onto that roster?
Well, one of the big goals we had with Dual Front is to actually make Siege more approachable. So, and one of the ways of doing that is to kind of lower that social pressure of having the, if you die in a 5v5, 4v5, that's a big detriment to your team. So in 6v6, you actually get to carry that weight a little bit more evenly. Additionally, obviously, the respawn's going to help with that and help people feel more confident and learn over time. But that's definitely a driving force there.
I just want to touch on something here, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but we've got our first objective at play. Would one of you like to take us through what exactly is happening in the game right now?
Yeah, so the attacking team has actually planted the diffuser, and now we have actual segments to the diffuser timer. So if the defending team comes in and deactivates it, it might save a bit of the progress that they achieved there. And this is one of 3 objectives that they have to secure now.
That would explain why we have the 3 segments on the diffuser.
That's right.
So if you stop it, it'll go back to the last tick, if we want to call it that.
That's right.
And then you basically paused it. So it functions very similarly to regular Siege in the sense that you have to control the objective, you have to get that diffuser planted.
And I love specifically that you guys talk about, you know, regardless of this being a brand new game mode, you guys are still keeping that core value of what Siege has always been in terms of that tactical prowess and what you can do within Siege. And I think just being able to bring attackers with defenders can really set up that strategical stand even more in depth than what we've currently seen throughout Siege.
I mean, that's the magic of it. As when you're playing this, you have to go on the attack. You get the attack, and then you got to go into the defense within the same lane. So it varies up what you're able to do there, like bringing a Nomad on attack. Obviously, we've done that 1,000 times, but putting her into the defense and making for the post plant, it's all about that.
It's almost like they're fighting on dual fronts.
And now we see that the other team has planted the diffuser as well. So both are active at the same time. Teams have to recoup, regroup, and understand how they can recapture the site now that the plant's gone down.
The red team succeeded, it looks like, in their very first capture. So now what happens? Oh. Is Uzi going to get it?
Yeah.
They've already lost 1 tick, as you talked about.
Yep.
And it'll roll back. So like that progress they earned and they fought for, they get to keep, but they didn't get it all the way for the next sector of the actual objective, so that's lost.
And what I'm seeing now with the front A team, they have that first one secured. Now that timer is going. So essentially, does that now force them to now play the defense, wait for that next sector to open up, and then make that transition with that rotate?
Yeah, that beat there is actually leading into essentially a prep phase for that new sector. So our attackers in that lane are going into prep, using their drones, looking forward, or they could rotate in through the neutral sector over to defense and help shore up your own defense.
Now, I do want to ask you guys, because you've obviously had some time playing through it, what is your ideal lineup that you've ran the most, that you've experimented with the absolute most, whether that's on the defensive side or the attacking side?
They're bouncing. They're just very excited to play the game.
They're bouncing.
It's amazing running Nomad.
Yeah, that's a good one to
It's
start off
like
with.
you've never experienced it before, and just doing that is amazing.
I'm about to say, you'll never hear anything coming from me in terms of Nomad with how much I love Nomad. I think Parker knows that as much as well. I played flank watch aggressively, so the fact that you can use those air jabs on defense to get those sound cues, to get that quick reaction, to net one of those eliminations, I mean, Nomad's massive on defense.
I mean, Gabe, when you played professionally, if there was a spot on a map to be as far away from the action as possible,
one of them has no audio, so that
So
might
you
be a
would
problem.
110% find me at that neutral sector, where I am not going to be in the thick of it, but I am going to be trying to lurk my way through and see what is open and what isn't.
Now, one thing that you mentioned while talking about the game was that you're going to be swapping up the operators twice a season. Now, what's the thought process behind which operators you bring in, which operators you bring out, and will it be a full-scale swap? Are we talking every operator is gone, or are you just going to bring in a couple and remove maybe some particularly strong or weak ops?
Yeah, so one of the big things is we want to make sure that the Pathfinders that are earned through our newcomer challenges are going to be available at all times. Again, like you always want to be able to have some of your ops to be able to play, but outside that, we're going to be almost doing kind of like a crafted meta or ideas around that. Maybe we put a lot of hard breach up, maybe we put a lot of trap, or maybe remove both. and see what happens now. Like, what can you do if you don't have electricity available to you? What can you do if you don't have, like, you know, a lot of area denial and so on and so forth?
So I don't think this was mentioned by you guys, but what I am noticing is I'm looking at the characters, the utility. It's regenerated.
Yeah, this is a way that we can actually balance the operators over a long period of time. We're talking rounds are lasting about 15, 20 minutes. So you can actually stack quite a bit of utility if you don't have this new system, and the team worked really hard on that.
Okay, we'll follow up with that. So are you saying that Capcan can essentially lay down 6, 7 traps at a time?
I'm going to take that one. So one of the things about regenerative gadgets is that you can deploy based on the max that's been determined for dual front. So some of those values may differ from the core Siege experience, but additionally, whatever your last place gadget was, if you place a new one, it'll destroy that one and then move forward, just to make sure things are in line.
Perfect.
You're telling me I can't put down 20 Capcan traps and just sabotage the whole
Yeah,
map?
I mean, if we rewind time a couple years ago, you could have, and let me be honest, like, you know, it became an HR problem. So
I was actually, I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking, I was like, what if someone just brings Mira and just lays down a lot of her windows and then immediately transitions off of that to a different operator and then uses them?
I'm thinking the Maestro. You just swap evil eye cams over and over and over again. You got unlimited laser beams.
We already thought of that. So if you're picking your operator,
Limited
the
shot
operator you were
cameras.
previously, all their gadgets disappear. And then you're jumping back in with a new operator to do a new strategy.
additionally, you can actually see as operators are being swapped out and respawning, they go back to being unknown because we don't know who's coming up in that lineup again. So that's another thing you'll have to adapt to as you're on the field.
I'm not a developer. I don't balance this game. I can only imagine how tricky it has been to find a way to make everything work. But before we get there, one of the beautiful things about having all these content creators in person is that we get to hear from them live in action. Patricia has an interview ready for us down on the stage.
Thank you, guys. I am here with Skittles. How you doing?
Skittles.
Doing great.
Skittles, I would love to get your first impressions of Siege X. How are you feeling about it right now?
I'm absorbing everything. This is a completely new game. We got a big map, more operators. Like it's insane. I'm just trying to take everything in right now, basically.
I can imagine. Are there any particular things that you're focusing on or interested in seeing in terms of the new updates?
I'm just really excited about the gun inspection. After 10 years, we finally got that, and oh my God, all the skins we have now, it's so worth it. It's so cool.
Very cool. Well, I won't take too much of your time. Get you back to playing. Thank you so much.
Skittles does a lot of YouTube work, and I know that the weapon inspect element will be excellent for thumbnails, so that will make it a lot easier for content creators to advertise their stuff. Let's dive into the next matchup that's happening at the same time, and it's a little bit of the old versus the present, one could say. A former two-time world champion of Pengu versus a current major champion of Spoit, as it's Team Pengu versus Team Spoit, and there's a competitive mindset between these two teams that is, maybe I would say, unlike a lot of the other matchups we'll have today.
I mean, how competitive can it be? I mean, Spoit's beating up on a retired old man of Pengu. Like, give him a break. Let him breathe a little bit.
I'm fascinated the way that this mode is going to be approached, right? Because Siege casts such a wide net. There are people who are going to play it on PC. There are people who are going to play it on console. There are people who are going to play it in casual, people who only play ranked. And then you've got people who are playing on high-end gaming PCs, and people who are just sitting at home, playing on their couch, listening to music, playing casually with some friends. And when you look at a mode like Dual Front, do you think it's the type of game mode that can catch all of those players and provide a compelling experience for each one?
Yeah, when we were talking about Dual Front, first of all, Siege is challenging. That's in our DNA. We'll never change that. But Dual Front makes it more accessible. You can respawn, you can repick your operators. You have more players on the table, so you can try out new things. So all of this adds up to a game mode that, honestly, everybody's at the same level, on the ground floor, and they're able to jump in and have immediate impact.
Probably
I
play
was gonna
sledge
follow
if that's
up
the
with-
case.
I mean,
It's probably the
we
only thing we
obviously
could
talk
work.
about the casual base. Me coming from that competitive background, I absolutely do love the approach here, especially as we do know, Siege is a very complex game, but that's what makes it so unique, so fun when you can actually learn it. But what I really like about District specifically is it's symmetrical. It does really allow you to learn from one end to the other of just the basic functionalities of how Siege is played, whether you're playing horizontal, whether you're playing vertically, so you're not getting confused. And for a new player, they can come in and be like, okay,
if we
this
do
is what
this,
Siege is like. So then you bring that into the other maps. And then I did also see not every single operator is able to be played, and I think that also is huge because, as we know, Siege has a lot of operators and continuing to grow as the game continues to go further on. So I do genuinely think this is a great approach for not only a competitive standpoint, but most importantly also
I'm doing it. Ready? Come here.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited to see the way that it shakes out. Have you two noticed anything that's happening at this current point in time that has caught your eye that you maybe weren't expecting at the tests you've done over the last year or so?
Well, I mean, I saw someone do a breach I literally have never seen someone do, like in all our playtests, breaching in onto the stairs of the second sector. Like, that side of the site, like, I don't usually see people, like, pushing through there. They usually push from top floor or walk up the stairs, but never breach the wall and jump right into the stairs. So that's kind of the magic of the map, right? So.
We've got another interview ready from TikTok to Twitch, and now here in Atlanta, we've got Titanium Rolo down on the stage with Patricia.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go.
You've got it solid. I am here now with Titanium Rolo. How you doing today, Rolo?
I am doing amazing. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful, especially now that I'm with you here. Already
Are
like
you
fast
my
friends.
chat by any
I
chance?
wanted to ask you, what do you think about the neutral zone in the middle of the map?
So I think the neutral zone is actually really crucial, and I think that from the times that we've played it, we've not focused on it enough. There's so much focus on either attacking a base or defending a base, but actually so many people go to the neutral zone that if you manage to get control of it, then you can kind of completely control the flow of the map, and I think it's going to be way more crucial than we've given credit for it. And I'm also hoping, since I like Easter eggs, I'll find a couple of Easter eggs around there too.
I wish so many Easter eggs for you. Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to playing. My pleasure.
Thank you, Patricia. Yeah, the Easter eggs that are hidden in all of the maps, by the way, are we going to see any in Dual Front? Do you even want to give that away?
Definitely first jump into the beta, check it out yourself, find them, because we have hidden some stuff around the map.
Right. And for a reminder for those of you, we're going to say this a lot. I apologize if I sound like a broken record. But the thing is that the more I remind you that maybe you might actually be able to get to the game yourself, we are doing beta code access for Dual Front. That is on right now. Once we are done with the showcase, you will be able to play Dual Front, providing you link your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts, and then watch either this stream or one of our partnered streams. You will get the code after about a half hour or so, and you can start playing this game mode later today. I don't want to know what he's... Oh.
Jeez. So as a status update in the match, right now, both teams are trying to capture the second sector. And actually, I think Beta team just lost theirs. But there's an assignment that's coming into the map. That's the neutral zone. We'll have a new objective that everybody has to jump into.
And we have to grab a hostage. So while up to this point, it's been like the typical quote-unquote siege where you have to get the case down, now we're going back to the old ways of the hostage being involved.
Yeah, and not only just that, but the hostage is Dokebi, because we lost her at the end of the Assault on Hereford event. So this is where that narrative starts coming in when we talk about seasonal update that way.
I want to say, so when you grab the hostage here, if I'm not mistaken, you have to bring it to the other side, the enemy side. So what Anne is already doing this wrong. She brought it to her, I believe, thinking that they are going to get that extraction, but they actually need to bring it to the opposite side and make it far more challenging than just as simple as, let's just bring it back to us.
Yeah, exactly. It used to, like, you can see as soon as the hostage got picked up there, the icon shows up to show you where the extraction point is for you, and the helicopters are coming in the next 30 seconds.
So
and that, oh man, like, again, we're talking about audio and all everything. Hearing helicopters come in during a siege match, oh, it gets your heart pumping.
Well, I want to say,
don't board it though.
I want to say, me and you actually went through this moment together when we were testing testing this out the other day, and it is, when you were talking about the heart stumping, and especially like, let's acknowledge you can play outside now. Like, that is a huge thing that needs to be acknowledged. You don't have a timer letting you know you're going to be shown. I mean, again, these operators, that is just evolving a meta right there. All the shields you're seeing being
castling off a door outside? What am I watching?
Exactly. But no, like I was saying, back to that, it is very intense when you have to run to the enemy side with this, trying to get that extraction up while they're up and coming, spawning, holding those positions from outside, waiting for an ambush that you're potentially running into. You were actually doing a very good job at leading that. You were like, all right, Lax, I need you to get
You've been
in front
deafened
of me.
for like 5 minutes.
I'm so ashamed of myself.
Honestly, regardless of how we talk about the match,
Bruh.
like the game of being approachable, we get real competitive.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You mentioned that Dokkaebi
So,
is the one to
you're not
grab
coming
here
back
because
Siege,
of
correct?
the actual lore of the game.
Oh, heck no, I'm
There are a
not
lot of
playing
people here at
Siege.
this
Even
event
if
dressed up
there's
in
new beta
cosplay,
stuff
and
coming
lore
out?
in Rainbow Six Siege.
I do not care.
Yeah, give them some applause. They work hard.
I want someone.
The lore in Rainbow Six Siege has steadily increased to the point now where
I would
you know, when I first started
suggest
playing, and you first started playing, there's basically
freaking
nothing. Will lore
Solar,
play a part
but I
in
don't think
Dual
I've
Front,
seen him
and
on in
will
like
the events
a
of
year or
future
two.
seasons find their way
He's been
into this
on
game mode?
Discord, but
So that's actually
He just
what
hasn't
we're
been
trying
on
to
the
do with
server.
Dual
He just
Front.
hasn't
Bring
been on
some
the
of the
server.
story into the game proper so that you get to experience the story itself. And so every single season, we'll be weaving in the lore of Siege into the updates that you see in Dual Front.
Now, when a team does successfully extract the hostage, what benefit does that give the team?
Oh, they're at the wrong. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
they both just
Yep.
did the exact same thing.
Do they throw Dokkaebi into the net? I'm not.
But whenever they do end up getting into the right, getting hostage to the right extraction point and then having her airlifted out, you actually gain 2 sectors of the current objective or the next objective that you're going on. So if you have 1 sector left on, say, sector 2, it'll click forward on 2.
Okay, and so that won't, so like for example, on Bravo's side, they already have 2 of those sectors, or not sectors captured, but they have, you know, halfway through.
Actually, yeah, on either side of the match right now, whoever secures the assignment will win.
Oh.
But like, they just have to get them to the right extraction zone, and there's only 20 seconds left to get it done.
And what happens if you don't complete this task? Then it just goes.
They figured it
Sorry,
out.
I'm too excited now.
Kudos!
And so this is actually...
Let's go, kudos!
So that's the thing. You can either play for the neutral sector, or you can keep on pushing in one of the fronts and end the game as well.
Like all things Siege, you have multiple ways to pull off.
That's right.
A win. We've got more. We got more games going, by the way. So this one is finished, but next one up, we're going worldwide. Raza versus Pestily. Now, Team Raza have some pretty formidable players on them. And I wonder how they'll be able to tackle Dual Front. We saw a more objective focus in that Pengu versus Spoit matchup than in the first. And again, it's going to come down to the way that teams tackle these objectives. Do you go for kills? Do you fight for each of the sections of the map? Or do you battle, as we just saw, in that neutral zone nonstop?
You do
for the Spoit and Pengu matchup, the neutral zone was the way to go. They ended up winning because of it.
But again, that's the beauty of this being a new game mode, is there isn't a right or wrong way to play this. You can play it what you see fit, what you want to do. You make those tactical adjustments of whether you're rotating players or seizing a moment, seizing an opportunity, and then even collapsing and falling back if necessary. So again, we are going through and through to be seeing any way possible and played, because there is no developed meta just yet that maybe you guys are hiding that you're going to keep for yourselves and maybe run into you guys in one of these matches and quickly realize, okay, this is what we need to do.
Whatever meta we've developed, it's going out the window as soon as players get into the beta, because players just learn the game faster than anyone else on the dev team, and so that's going to evolve so quickly we won't even recognize it in a week.
Well, his game is finished, so let's hear what Pengu's thoughts on Dual Front are.
I am over here with the wonderful Pengu, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. How you feeling?
Excited. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit nervous, and I came into it. I went 0-3, got no kills in the beginning. I was like, oh, chalk it. But then the teamwork started happening, and next to me started making some calls, and it clicked. We got the W.
Lovely. I'm sort of curious, what do you think about mixing attackers and defenders? How's that feeling?
I love it because it creates even more flexibility than before. Obviously, Siege has been about soft destruction, hard destruction. Now you have stuff like Capcan traps if you're defending, mute jammers. For example, Priest and I, we start defending the bomb site. He's playing castle. I'm playing mute. We're locking them out of the map, essentially. And then if we join them on the attack, we can play more aggressive operators like the Grim, for example.
Amazing. Have you found any OP combos?
I can't talk about that because, like, what if people, they copy it and they beat us, you know? So no, can't leak strats right now.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to let you get back to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patricia. You can take Pengu out of the game, and his former team did, but you can't take the player. I gotta get my digs in. But you can't take the player out of the actual match. He's not even giving away secrets in a show match. Like, come on.
Saving strats for SI.
Yeah, exactly. He's saving strats for the next match. Team Raza versus Team Pestily is up next. A reminder about those drops. I mentioned that we have partnered streamers. Everybody here is streaming as well. And we've got streamers at home that are also co-streaming this. Tune in and get to enjoy the action. I know that you want to hear us, but you've also got other people to tune in too. Now, that matchup between Spoid and Pengu went by pretty quickly. How does that match up with your expectations of a typical game of Dual Front?
So, one of the interesting things about the neutral sector assignment is it randomly triggers in the middle of a match. Between, I think it's like 10 minutes and 15 minutes. Is that right?
It's like first 5 in.
Yeah.
Like, so after 5, it can happen at any time.
So they already were pretty advanced in the match, and then it did end. So that's about the time that you can expect. 15 to 20 minutes is the average game length, and then you can jump into the next one right away. So you get a lot in a little package.
Hold on a second, gentlemen. I'm seeing something here on your screen. Does your outfit show up on the loading screen before you get into Dual Front?
Absolutely. You got to flex whatever you got.
I think it's called Skinner jazzing. Raza, that's your own teammate.
Well, he's got to take off the shades. I think he's a little discombobulated.
He can't see right now. He's too cool. Too cool for school. That's something that we haven't really seen a lot of, right? Like, there's always been chatter online about, oh, like the player cards before the match should show my skins. In Dual Front, you've now made it so that when you load into a game, your outfit and your gun skin are shown off.
So I also did notice when you first initially start out, you aren't just able to quickly run in to a different sector. You are blocked off right there. Is that essentially similar to a prep phase, or?
That's exactly the intent there, is that it gives time for those in the defending lane to actually do their setup and get ready. It gives time for the intel to be gathered by the attackers. I'll let this be known that the neutral sector is always neutral. So if you want to frag it out as soon as you start, you can go and, do it there.
That's interesting. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that love to hear you say that just want to get straight into the thick of it.
And just like regular Siege, or core Siege, if I can call it that, destruction is a huge part of this. You talked about it as well. But we just got to see it firsthand. A lot of these teams are kind of treating this like team deathmatch. That's the rappel, by the way, that was shown, that you can now swing around corners.
Amazing.
The very first time in our very first match that we just saw that, the crowd went wild. I don't know if you heard that, but no, destruction, it plays a huge part. I mean, a lot of these teams, again, are treating it like a team deathmatch, but here, you can reshape the map to your advantage.
That's right. And even, we saw it before, you can reshape the neutral sector. In fact, one of the things that we've been playing with is you can jump into the neutral sector before you attack, reinforce where you need to, or open up where you need to, so that you actually lay the groundwork for the match to evolve.
So I did notice within these sectors, there are still default cameras that are up. And we've already talked about regenerative utility. Is that the same thing with barricades? If a team just is absolutely not attacking, they're more focused on defending, where they just immediately fell off, will those barricades come back up? Or is that through and through, once that destructibility is there, it's permanent?
Yeah, once the destructibility is going in place in the match, it's kind of the story of that match. So we allow that to be the permanent like beats that had happened throughout it. So if anything's being broken down, like we talked about the cheat code where you get a soft wall, maybe not reinforcing it right away is a good move. So you get that second layer of destruction happening. But once it gets direct, then you reinforce it. And now that's a second barrier to stall them out.
Josh has given that key intel for everyone listening, so you might want to take him up on that. There's a little tricks of the trade of this. Don't barricade right away. Wait for it to start being destroyed and then put it up.
Another interesting thing, though, when it comes to destruction, you'll see that the barricades are color-coded. And that's because the team that has their own color can tear it down. And so you can see a sector evolve over time as the new barricades of the attacking team come out, because now they're reinforcing it and the defenders have to recapture.
We've spent almost a decade of watching round by round things reset. It's a little bit odd to see persistent destruction in this game. So, I mean, you'd see it in TDM from time to time when eventually, you know, a map would be reduced to smithereens. But not only do you see it now, but it plays a much bigger impact than it does in TDM, right? TDM is a fun game mode, but here there's much more strategy, as you pointed out. And the way you go about it will only deepen people's understanding of how to play this game.
You know, Raza just displayed that perfectly of questioning whether or not that was one of his fellow cap cans or another team's trap, and then scanned it to see if it was, found out it was, and then shot that. Again, that's another thing as a veteran player when you're going to be experiencing this, you are going to have to be so aware of the utility that is placed around the map, placed around the sector, because you don't know if it's yours. You don't know if it's the other teams. You always have to be on alert. So again, it adds such another core development and process that you're going to be going through while playing this 6v6 game mode of Dual Front.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just moments away from starting our last match of the day. Gentlemen, it's been great having you here, and I'm assuming you'll be riding along for that last one. But is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't seen yet, by any chance?
Actually, we've seen quite a bit here that we haven't dug into yet, and we're about to, because there are changes that are coming that you might have seen in Dual Front. They're coming to the entire game. So we'll be talking more about that very soon, actually.
You're just going to tease people?
Yep, that's
You're
it.
not
even just teasing people, teasing us.
Teasing
You
us.
can whisper in our ears before you head out.
Admittedly, we had to tease them earlier on with the new game mode and all that special stuff, but good things come to those who wait. Our very last matchup of the day is upon us for Dual Front, at least. Team Skittles, who you heard from earlier, and Team Meaty Marley will do battle. Fun fact about both of these team captains, both of them started their careers hiding their identity, and we eventually got a Skittles face reveal, and now we know what Meaty Marley looks like. The question is, game. Will their gameplay be as handsome as they are?
Oh, yeah.
I think they will, but something that really
Make sure
sticks
it's
out
what
for
you
me
want.
with both these rosters, if you were to ask me, who do you
Thanks,
think's
man.
the favorite here? I don't have one for the simple fact that your boy Roy and Atheno look a little deflated in their biceps. I don't think they got their pumping for the day. So you're definitely going to have to rely on the five players, I should say, on each side to pick up the weight from both those two.
I have a slight suspicion as to what the devs were talking about, by the way, because they said there's something that we're changing in regular Siege that wasn't mentioned, but it was briefly shown on the reveal video before this. And then we saw what looked like a pipe on fire, which, as far as I'm aware, Gabriel, there's no operator who puts down explosive pipes.
No, there isn't. And I was curious of that too, because, I mean, you know, as chefs, we add tons of ingredients to our meals and for people to digest. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is that ingredient is now being added into the gameplay that we all know and love of Siege. Again, we don't have operators that are laying down these pipes that can be shot. Is he going to shoot it? No, he's not going to shoot it. Unfortunately.
And as for what that quote-unquote ingredient might be, the devs will be talking about that later on. I do like that we have a big mix of players here in Atlanta. You've got controller players, you've got mouse and keyboard players, you've got Siege vets, you've got former pros, you've got world champions, you've got people who, as far as I'm aware, might not have ever really touched Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, I mean, Narcoleptic Nugget, he doesn't touch Siege. I mean, look at the gameplay right there. I know we know him from Siege, but I'm a little disappointed in his gameplay so far.
This was the man whose biceps you made fun of earlier.
Yeah, I know I'm going to regret it because, I mean...
Do you think he could take you in a fight?
Yes, for sure. I mean, look at him. He's so locked in. Actually, I lied. He just missed that.
Well, it was through a wall.
Oh, was it?
There are outlines on operators as well, because as you might have noticed on the top of the screen, the teams can run the same ops.
They can.
So you can have 2 vigils on the board at the same time. We saw in one of our earlier matches, there were 2 docks on the board. And outlines are very important to be able to distinguish, is it a friendly dock or is it an enemy dock?
Well, I mean, that's something that you're going to have to decipher, like I was saying, with the utility that's going to be on the map. You're going to have to keep in mind a mental awareness of, okay, we're seeing it right
What's
there.
this? No, Macy, get off drone!
See, he's not, you know, he's not appreciating. Okay.
There it is.
Okay, so that's interesting. So, you know, we talked about operators not being able to lay anything like that, but in similarity to a Capital Bolt, similar to a Goyo canister, I mean, this creates a completely different new look and what we can see in Siege X.
This has been an interesting matchup between these 2 teams. They're playing it very slow, which is in stark contrast to the first game that we saw that had Uzi killing everybody in the server. Now, they talked a lot about this neutral sector, and it's coming in pretty quickly. Again, it can spawn at different intervals. This one in just under a minute, and it'll be only 9 minutes into action. Will these teams pay that neutral sector and the assignment that comes with it the same respect that we saw from that Pengu and Spoit matchup? That is the question. Uh-oh.
Now, I am curious how long. Okay, so that flame actually does get put out pretty quickly.
It's not a Goyo canister.
No, it's not.
Goyo canister lasts 20 seconds. That looked like about 3.
I don't even think 3. Maybe like 2. But I think we could be wrong. I'll wait to see.
You're
if
gonna fight
anything.
with me over a single second?
No. Completely unrelated to what we were just about to talk about. That we might see later on. But I mean, so far, this game mode is intense. There seems to be constant action no matter where you're looking, whether you are the one defending or you are the one attacking.
Now, speaking of, Alpha has to defend against the diffuser that's been put down while also dealing with the hostage objective in the middle of the map. That's the assignment that has spawned in. So you've got 6 players on your team. How many do you send to deal with that diffuse kit, and how many do you send to deal with the assignment?
That's the biggest thing. You know, if I'm in this situation, I'm sending at least 3. At least 3.
To which one?
To the neutral sector. To go for that hostage and keeping 1 on one end and 2 on the other. So that way you are still covering all of your bases where you need to, covering those sectors, making sure not only you can defend, but you can still attack, but you can still go for that neutral sector. And they're trying to go. Okay, they didn't get it.
Varsity managed to pull it off.
I am curious if they know where to bring and extract the hostage here, whereas in the previous game, they were unfamiliar, which I think it's going to be the exact same situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth noting that everybody who is playing this game has little to no experience with it.
I would have done the same exact thing if I wasn't playing with Joshua.
Yeah, fair enough. So again, it comes down to learning on the fly and differing skill levels, differing platforms, etc. You will be able to get your hands on this beta for Dual Front later today. Again, link your Ubisoft Connect, link your Twitch account, and watch this stream or one of the partnered streams for about 30 minutes, and then you'll be in. You'll be able to play on PC and current gen consoles. Now, it looks like Skittles might be able to pull it off.
I think he's going to.
Funny because we listened to the on-boarder, the don't board the helicopter.
But
when
now
the literal opposite is the focus here.
I mean, it's up to that one Brit to shut this out right here and not make sure. And Skittles, I mean, my God, that was devastating right there. And now he's going to go for it. I mean, again, this is a beautiful thing, once again, is where you're not just focused on the sectors. You do have to focus on another objective, which is, again, it's so unique, and it still allows you to be in control of any scenario at any given moment, to be able to shift, to rotate, to be elusive, that you can't just focus on one thing. You have to shift your focus in other places through and through, which, again, for new players, old players, it allows you to constantly learn and adapt.
Okay, so
that's what Siege has been about for years.
And what you learn about this game mode is going to change very quickly.
Yes.
Assignments will be changing. Oh!
Do it again! Do it again!
Capture 1/3 complete.
I don't think they're capable of hearing us. But again, just to kind of underscore how this game mode will be supported, a season in Rainbow Six Siege is about 3 months, give or take, because we have 4 a year, just like regular seasons. Twice a season, the operator lineup will change, which means that for a lot of players, as you're finding your footing, things will shift. And then at the start of each new season,
So 1.5
the assignment
months
will
it'll change.
Right now, it's rescue Dokkaebi, pick up the hostage, get her to the helicopter, save her, but who knows what's next? There's one thing that I've noticed that isn't present, and that's anything to do with secure area. If you look at the original 3 game modes of Rainbow Six Siege, you have the regular bomb, which is the whole premise of Dual Front. You have hostage, which is the special assignment, but where is secure area? Could it be coming next or coming at some point in future seasons?
Well, we're already getting something brand new with Dual Front, and it already being a heap loads of different things involved. So we could see an entirely different brand new mode introduced. Well, I mean, you know what I mean entirely.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, honestly, everything's up in the air of what could be brought in.
And it allows the developers to toy with the game, frankly. The Siege X formula has been around and has been tweaked over time. And you're going to see some more of those tweaks coming up in the next portion of this showcase in the core gameplay update section. But you can't really reinvent Siege. But if you want to experiment, Dual Front is a great game mode where you can take those liberties and try out some new stuff, and who knows? Just as right now, original core Siege has influenced Dual Front, something could be cooked up for this game mode that is popular enough, maybe one day down the line, we see it in the core game. Maybe not. This is us idly speculating, but again, it gives the devs a chance. It gives the devs a chance to talk about this new game mode.
And of course he's MVP.
Of course. We've got our last interview for Dual Front with Fastan and Patricia.
Thank you. Hey, Fastan, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good. I'm so excited to be here. The game's been a lot of fun. It's been great.
Oh, amazing. Thank you for letting me take the time to pick your brain. I actually wanted to ask you about strategy. How's the team strategy been? How's that evolving?
Well, our team's doing really good on the strategy front. I feel like, with the people that we're playing against, people said we were not going to stand a chance with some major winners against us or something like that. We played 2 games yesterday, 1 game today. All I want to say is we are 3-0 up in games because we are taking Dokkaebi as our win condition. If you get Dokkaebi and you extract her, you actually get 2/3 of a sector, and that's been helping us win 3 games in a row, and it's been absolutely amazing so far.
Oh, amazing insight. Thank you so much, Fastan. Really appreciate your time being here. Can't wait for more gameplay. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you so very much. And again, it's great to have everybody here under one roof playing this game, and we get to get real-time opinions on what we're watching, because we only get to see their perspective, but they get to play it, they get to experience it, and almost every single match played differently.
Yeah. Well, it goes into what I was saying. This is a brand new game mode. It's unexplored. Everyone is going to be approaching it entirely different, whether it's going to be here or you guys later once this all wraps up. It is an unfamiliar area for everybody. So again, there isn't going to be a meta just yet. Who knows? There might not even be a meta in general because there is many factors to take into here that we just have not seen throughout Siege's history.
And if you're new to this stream and just catching up to speed, the game mode we just watched, the new permanent 6v6 game mode coming to Siege X, is going to be playable later today. We'll be giving out beta keys to those who have their Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts linked together. So you can get the keys here, you can get it from the partnered streams as well. You just got to watch about 30 minutes, then you'll get access to the beta code. It'll go live when the show wraps up later today. But we've got Patricia ready yet again. As I said, this show's going to go quick. I didn't lie. Patricia, take it away.
Of course, Siege updates.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Antero and Laxing. How are you guys enjoying Dual Front? Pretty cool. You just heard them talking about some core gameplay updates that we will be revealing in the next segment. So all that's left is for me to set the stage. Please welcome back directors Alexander Karpazes and Christopher Budgeon.
With SiegeX, we're taking Rainbow Six Siege to new heights.
Yo.
Launching June 10th at the start of Year 10 Season 2. This evolution of Siege builds upon everything that makes the game so special.
He's there, or well,
In
he
the
was
first part
here.
of our showcase, we showed you Dual Front, our new 6v6 game
I know he was on
and
like
there's
a
lot
couple
more
minutes
to
ago,
talk
but
about.
he might have left and
Siege
went to do
X will
something.
deliver sweeping updates across all of Siege, with a strong focus on modernizing our maps, refining our gameplay.
If it's about
and
Siege, I'm pretty sure
evolving our
Rara doesn't
audio,
really play Siege anymore.
with much more to come. At its heart, our philosophy remains the same. Reinforce what makes Siege so unique. It's
I'm not
deep
gonna lie,
tactics,
brother, I have no clue what the
intense
fuck you just said.
strategy, and the thrill of outsmarting your opponents.
But before we dive into what's next, we want to take a
I
moment
might,
to
but not
recognize
now.
those who have made all of
So
this
you're saying
possible.
you currently
our
watched this
players.
thing for 30 minutes?
And I bet there's some veteran players in
What?
this very room.
This showcase?
Oh no, I have not watched the showcase.
Your commitment and support over the years has shaped Siege
Ah.
into what it is today.
Oh, okay.
And we have something
No,
special
all good.
to show our appreciation. Let's take a look at our
Doesn't
veteran
matter to me
rewards.
that much, but yeah.
This is a special way to celebrate your time with Siege. For each year you've been with us, you'll receive a unique reward to honor your dedication. If you've been with us since year 3, for example, you'll receive 7 rewards from year 3 to year 9. And for those who have been with us since year 1, we've prepared something truly special. A new, exclusive Black Ice skin.
Devin, what episode are
This
you
is the
watching?
freaking.
Yeah, I was about to say
Is it
that
the-
is
is it
it's
the
a
Thank you for standing with us through every battle, every season, and every moment that continues to shape the future of Siege.
We also want to celebrate your legacy in Siege with a special badge of honor. This exclusive badge marks the year you joined the fight, a testament to your dedication and journey in the game. Whether you're a recent recruit or a battle-hardened veteran, this badge is yours to wear with pride. Now, it's time to talk about an important change that's come into the game. Recently, we introduced crossplay, giving you the ability to play with your friends no matter which platform they're on. With Siege X, we're tearing down barriers, ready to welcome more players that want to experience the best tactical FPS. We want to make it easier to invite your friends to play the game. We want to continue to grow the community, and we want to continue to build this game with veterans and new players from around the world. Starting June 10th, with the launch of Siege X, new players will be able to download the game for free and jump directly into the Siege experience. Free access will help grow the Siege community, but we want to ensure that Siege remains fair and protected, particularly for Ranked and Siege Cup. So, let's break it all down so you know what to expect as a new player and a veteran.
With free access, players can dive into our brand new game mode, Dual Front. Learn the mechanics through our onboarding playlists, sharpen their skills in quick match, have fun in seasonal events, and we heard you. Unranked is making its long-awaited comeback. Unranked offers a competitive yet approachable experience for free access players to test their skills and explore the new pick and ban system, which you'll see in action in our show match later on. Free access players can experience core Siege gameplay and access training modes, earn XP, and unlock rewards. As part of the new onboarding process, players can earn and customize up to 26 operators through play. Additional operators can still be unlocked using the currency they earn to continue to grow their roster. The most competitive playlists, Ranked and Siege Cup, are high stakes and reserved for those who unlock the next level of Siege competition through premium access. And as always, you'll need to be level 50 to participate. Also, I want to reassure our dedicated players. You will keep access to everything you have.
Yes!
That's right. Don't worry, veteran players. You'll keep access to everything you've earned over the past 10 years. Your access to our competitive playlists, such as Ranked and Siege Cup, your progression, your operators, your inventory, will all be yours to keep and to continue building for the future. No payments or action required to transfer your progress. As Siege continues to grow, we're not just preserving your legacy, we're refreshing the experience for every player. With SiegeX, our totally revamped UI will be more than just a new coat of paint. How you navigate through game modes, browse your battle pass, and interact with Siege is faster, it's more intuitive, and more immersive. The UI overhaul also streamlines your experience as you track your journey as a Siege player. So whether you're a veteran bringing in new friends or a fresh recruit, we've revamped Siege's global progression system. Clearance levels, reward unlocks, and challenges have been improved, making it easier to track your progress and navigate the early stages of the game. Our focus was to make getting into Siege as fun as possible, while giving you the tools you need to learn the deep and rewarding systems of the game.
We're thrilled to welcome new players into Siege with free access. And we know that a growing community comes with responsibility. With SiegeX, we're making sure the game is the most secure it's ever been. That means industry-leading player protection, fairer matchmaking, and continued efforts to encourage a positive game that welcomes everyone. First, let's talk about game security.
Last month at the Six Invitational, we introduced R6 Shield Guard, our latest anti-cheat initiative. To catch up on the current status of R6 Shield Guard, let's hear from programming team lead Adrian Fraisse.
Cheating and toxicity has no place in Siege, and we won't rest until it's a thing of the past. At SI, we introduced our new initiative, Rainbow Six Shield Guard. Our Siege Shield Guard takes a multifaceted approach to anti-cheat. Our QB system distributes different executables to our players, preventing tampering and issuing sanctions when detected. Binary hardening is the act of encrypting and hardening our game code to make it even more difficult to tamper with. Our security measures have rendered cheat makers' capacity to come back online much harder, with some of them exiting the scene entirely. Gameplay violation, our in-game defense system that allows for detecting players performing impossible behavior within the game, like sprinting while shooting. This system basically renders raid cheating a thing of the past, and we are working to keep it that way. Our next line of defense, Mousetrap, detects the use of mouse and keyboard in console pools. Our final line of defense is data. We use AI and analytics to detect irregular and exploitative behavior in the game. With SiegeX, our Siege Shield Guard updates live without the need of a scheduled maintenance. Cheats will be harder, more difficult, and costlier to make, and cheat makers won't be able to anticipate security updates before they come in. Our Siege Shield Guard is a long-term investment. We're here to stay, and we can't wait to share more.
Okay.
We're taking anti-toxicity in the game seriously as well, and we've made huge strides to make sure that everyone feels comfortable playing the game. We've doubled down on our mission. There is no room for abusive language and harassment in Siege. Here's Lancelot Satjay, Associate Director of Player Protection and Game Security, to talk about the systems we have in place.
We know that toxicity has become more frequent in-game, especially with a constant increase over the past 2 years. But the good news is, since Year 9 Season 4, the past December, we are now seeing the first decrease in toxicity. This is thanks to features such as our rework reputation system that addresses recurrent toxicity while rewarding constant positive behavior. Plus, our recently implemented automated text chat moderation. Since its release in Year 9 Season 4, the number of unacceptable messages has been divided by 2. We are constantly working to improve and balance detections. We are also dedicated to protect potential targeted players with our privacy setting features. In Year 10, the reputation system is fully activated. It means that the most toxic players, the ones with a dishonorable standing, have been removed from ranked, standard, and Siege Cup matches as they were impacting 25% of games played. Players with a positive standing are receiving rewards and specific car backgrounds. The more constructive feedbacks we receive, the better and fairer our systems are. To do so, use the in-game report function or contact us through R6Fix. We are listening to your feedback, and player protection will continue to evolve to make sure that the game is safe for you, even more with free access.
Anti-cheat and anti-toxicity are top priorities for us on Siege, and I want to thank Adrien and Lancelot and their teams for their work making the game the most competitive and fair it's ever been. Now, let's talk about the maps and visual updates we mentioned at the 6th Invitational. We've been listening, refining, and working behind the scenes to bring you game-changing updates to core Siege gameplay. Siege X isn't just about the new experiences. It's about making the 5v5 Siege you love even better. From mechanics to quality of life improvements and everything in between, we're ushering in a new era for Siege.
One of the biggest changes coming to Siege is our modernized map update. We know how important maps are in Siege, and we've been hard at work improving visuals, readability, and overall gameplay flow to make every engagement more tactical and immersive. These updates will enhance lighting and textures and be more in line with the dark, gritty tone that people picture when they think of Siege, all while maintaining the strategic depth players love. But words can only do so much. So let's take a look at how these changes come to life in action.
Yeah. Whoa. I'm getting chills.
That's right. At launch, Siege X will introduce 5 fully modernized maps: Clubhouse, Chalet, Bank, Cafe, and Border. After the season of Siege X's debut, each new season will deliver 3 more modernized maps. We've done significant work on these environments. We've rebuilt the lighting engine to bring more realistic atmosphere with richer contrast and colors. All major surfaces have been redone, with materials looking more real thanks to updated, physically based rendering standards, displacement mapping, exposure compensation, and increased resolution. For PC players, that means an optional true 4K texture pack for the sharpest, most detailed environments possible. For those watching the stream, we'll be sharing all of these videos today at full resolution so you can see the difference. Building on the technology of lighting and modernized maps, we're also introducing a feature that adds a whole new layer to tactical awareness: first-person shadows.
Now you'll have to think twice about your positioning. If you're entering a room or passing a hallway, you'll be able to see whether your shadow is revealing your location to waiting enemies. This small but crucial detail makes movement and positioning more important than ever. The reason we can make all these changes and still ensure a competitive experience is because of a major change we're doing in making our enemy outlines updated.
When we talk about stealth in Siege, we want players to focus on how much noise they make, not how visible they are. We always want enemies to be clear and identifiable. The new outline system means, even with the more immersive lighting, enemies can't hide in the shadows. This is a big change, but one that over time feels natural and ensures a fun and fair game. As usual, we'll keep listening to your feedback and make adjustments as needed. Another big change is the Repel update in Siege X, bringing more options to the most unique movement mechanics in first-person shooters.
Rappelling has always been a defining feature of Siege, but we knew it could be even better. With advanced Rappel, you can now sprint along the wall, and you can pull off what we saw Callie do back in the Playbook story trailer. You can now transition around corners while on Rappel, including when sprinting. Here's those improvements in-game.
Let's go.
Smooth cornering and sprinting makes rappelling on a wall and executing a plan so much more satisfying.
It's all about giving players more control, making movement feel natural, intuitive, and immersive. This is why we've also taken the time to update our basic movement in the game to include momentum as well. No more start and stop movement, but true flow and responsiveness. Let me give you a concrete example of this in action. Picture yourself moving across the bed in the bedroom gym side of Clubhouse. Before the changes, as soon as you ran off the bed, you would immediately stop running, drop straight down, and then start running again once you've landed on the floor. With the momentum-based movement update, you will continue to run off of short drops and carry your momentum with you. This achieves a new level of flow and immersion in the moment-to-moment action of Siege. We can't wait to see the creative plays that these changes will inspire.
We've talked visual improvements and new movements. Let's dive into something that's going to shake up gameplay itself. Say hello to destructible ingredients.
During an operation, every detail matters. Your intel, your loadout, your position, but above all else, your environment.
Yes! We've been wanting this for a while now. These metal detectors are so annoying. Metal detectors are so annoying.
All right, I freaking love these things. Destructible ingredients are shaking things up in Siege, bringing fresh tactical opportunities for both attackers and defenders. These aren't just environmental details, they're strategic tools that swing the outcome of combat engagements in modernized maps and dual front. First up, fire extinguishers. You'll see these scattered across the map, and when they're destroyed, they release a thick cloud of smoke, giving you some quick visual cover. But that's not all. If an enemy is standing too close when one bursts, they'll be concussed, setting you up for the perfect push. Next, we have gas pipes, and these can really disrupt the flow of the fight. Shoot it, and it releases a controlled flame, cutting off rotations and forcing roamers to move. But here's the catch. Once the fire reaches its peak, the pipe explodes, covering the area in flames and creating a brutal area denial effect. And finally, metal detectors. You have seen these before, but they're a little more responsive than you've come to know them. Metal detectors are now fully interactive. You can disable them temporarily or permanently, giving you the control over when movement is detected. Do you disable them to sneak through unnoticed, or leave them on to bait enemies into giving away their position? You can even destroy them outright with explosives. These destructible ingredients introduce new tactical possibilities, giving players more ways to manipulate their surroundings and outplay their opponents.
Each of these destructible ingredients adds a new layer of strategy and creates fresh opportunities for creative play. Whether you're using them to gain an advantage or counter an opponent's plan, they'll keep every round dynamic and unpredictable. We can't wait to see the tactical strategies you'll come up with. Destructible ingredients will be available in modernized maps and in the dual front game mode. And we're not done working on destructible ingredients. We'll be listening to all of you to see how we evolve them in the future. Speaking of listening, audio in Siege is one of the most important tools a player can use to get a competitive edge. That's why we're introducing the biggest audio overhaul Siege has ever seen or heard. Every gunshot, footstep, and explosion will be more accurate, more immersive, and more clear than ever before. You're going to want to turn up your volume and put on your headphones for this one. Get ready to hear the difference.
In Rainbow Six Siege, audio has been overhauled to convey a greater sense of accuracy in order to give players more cues to reliably detect enemy actions. These audio enhancements add a layer of spatial distinctions, making it easier to tell if someone is coming from your left or your right. Sound propagation has been upgraded, with sound traveling vertically and allowing players to know if an enemy is pushing from above or below. Sound also propagates through openings created in surfaces, offering more immersion. Sound reverberation is more realistic, relaying whether nearby actions are coming from a big room, a small room, indoors, or outdoors, making pinpointing enemy locations more reliable. These audio innovations offer new tools to adjust response tactics, deliberately cause noise to draw rivals into an ambush, or use carpeted areas to limit the sound of infiltration, and use flashbangs to mask the sounds of powerful abilities, making for a more immersive, refined, and satisfying tactical shooter experience.
I get goosebumps every time I hear the new audio. With this audio overhaul, every sound in Siege is more precise and immersive than ever. You'll be able to pinpoint gunshots, footsteps, and explosions more accurately, whether they're coming from the left, the right, above, or below. Intel makes or breaks great plays in Siege. With these enhancements, audio has become an even greater Intel asset and is more reliable than ever. Audio will be able to provide the intel you need to succeed, but to truly dominate, teams need to be able to share that intel, coordinate attacks, and call out enemy positions. But we know that not everyone is comfortable using voice comms.
That's why we're introducing the communication wheel, a new tool to design communication faster, clearer, and more accessible for everyone.
In the heat of battle, communication is key. That's why the communication wheel is so important. It's your new way to call the shots and keep your squad in sync. Need help with a breach or a rotate? Call out the spot for your play. Is an area clear? Let your squad know it's safe to reposition. Ready to make a push? Tell your team you are moving in and lead the attack. And when a teammate makes the right move, confirm it with an okay or send them a quick thank you to keep the teamwork flowing. The communication wheel gives every player the tools to share their strategy regardless of their play style, keeping your team one step ahead.
We covered a lot of subjects, but what about weapons? We know how much players love their weapon skins, and now, for the first time in Siege, you can check them out with Weapon Inspect.
Yes!
I know, we've been looking forward to Weapon Inspect just as much as you have. Rifles, pistols, shotguns, Siege has over 100 weapons in the game, and you can inspect every single one of them on the battlefield. Now is the time to flex your favorite skins and appreciate every single detail.
You're about to see all of these changes in action in a 5v5 show match with your favorite creators. But before we get there, I wanted to take a moment to speak directly to all of our veteran players and community. I'd just like to personally thank you for making Siege what it is today. I myself am a year one player, and the last 10 years have been incredible. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for the revives. Thank you for the adrenaline pumping clutches. And thank you for the EMPs and cover fire as I was trying to open the main breach as my boy Thermite. "10 years of this game and the moments that have come with it are truly something to celebrate. And I can assure you that we still have plenty in store throughout the year to celebrate this momentous milestone with all of you. We've been building towards this moment for 3 years. All right. We've been building towards this moment for 3 years, and it feels unreal to finally be able to share it. Siege X marks the beginning of a new era of Rainbow Six Siege. This is our commitment to keeping Siege at the top as the best team-based tactical shooter out there. This is our commitment to the next 10 years of Siege. And this is our commitment to you, our players, for being here this whole time. Thank you.
Rainbow Six Siege has changed my life, and I've had many players from around the world tell me the same thing. Siege X is the continuation of this life-changing game. And on behalf of the entire team, who are working so hard to build on the amazing legacy, we would like to thank you all. The stories you share, the friends you make along the way, and the passion you have for the game inspires us to always make Siege better. And we have one more announcement. As you know, our esports event, Reload, will take place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, this May. And today we can say that we are excited to announce that this will be the first Siege competition ever played on Siege X. Everything we just presented today will be there. The modernized maps, the overhauled audio, the new rappel mechanics, the works. Reload will also be the place for us to share with you the full roadmap for year 10 and give you an idea of what's to come after the launch of Siege X on June 10th. Before we jump into the 5v5 show match, I'm going to pass it over to Patricia.
Wow. Thank you so much, Alex and Josh. Incredibly exciting updates. Wow. And now, a little surprise for all of you Ash fans out there. Let's take a look.
Well, an awful lot of information, and I didn't really expect it to get so emotional. But to Josh's point, it's not just the devs whose lives have been made better by this game. It's both of us as well. It's many of you. We're not just a community. In a lot of ways, it feels like a family. And for the last 10 years, so many people's lives have been made better by Siege. So from both of us, a very heartfelt thanks to the dev team, to the publishers, to the developers who've worked on this, to the people on the esports side of things, to the streamers and content creators, but most importantly, to you watching. Because we wouldn't be here without you, the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's a surreal moment to be in this historical moment, you know, a decade of Siege, and to think that we're now here with something brand new for each and every single person, whether from the beginning and to now. I mean, it is truly a heartfelt moment, not only for me, for you, and like you said, for everyone around to just be in this moment, to partake in this. And again, thank you to each and every single one of you.
And why don't you give yourself here in Atlanta a round of applause, because you've been great so far today. I know that there was some onion cutting going on moments ago, but this is ultimately a celebration, and you've been spectacular so far. We are not done just yet. We do have a show match coming up. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Boo.
Oh, okay.
I just complimented you. How are you booing me? I'm right. That's very hurtful.
Maybe weapon inspect? Oh.
I'm weapon inspecting my big. They love it. That's a cheap pop. That's a cheap pop. A lot of big updates to the core of Siege. We saw a lot of it during Dual Front, but now you'll get to see it in action in what is called Core Siege, the game that you know and love, the game that you've been playing for some of you maybe a couple months, some of you maybe a couple days, some of you maybe since the game launched in December 2015. We've decided to adopt another dev though. We had both Alex and Josh on earlier, and now we're gonna bring in our good friend Chris to talk about something else that is a little bit intriguing. It hasn't been in the game since the beginning, but it has become a fundamental part of Siege. And I am gonna put some blame on you. You're the reason why people's favorite operators aren't available in certain games. We're gonna be talking about pick and ban. While we talk about the pick and ban, let's get ready for Skittles versus Meaty Marley in our 5v5 show match. Yeah, get loud, come on, you can do better than that.
I feel like that was like the same energy. I'm surprised it's not as loud.
Chris, there's something very different going on the screen right now. Care to walk us through it?
Yeah, we're now seeing our newly updated pick and ban system for ranked,
Oh,
Siege Cup, and the
it does it
returning
every
unranked.
round?
So each team will ban one operator before each round and up to 3 operators on each side.
So varsity,
This new
skills.
system is much faster to get into the action as both attack and defense span and parallel. It also offers more strategic options when planning your next round, as you can ban with the knowledge of which site you want to defend or attack. For example, if you want to defend basement on Chalet, you can ban Ram before the next
it
round.
looks so good.
You can also act on information you gain throughout the match. So if you notice they have a good smoke, you can take him off the table and force your opponents to switch up their defense. We are excited to see how this shakes up the meta. You can ban more ops, it's faster, and you have more intel to inform your decisions. We have a specific adaptation of this system for our esports competition. You'll see the esports version of this new pick and ban system in action for the first time at the Reload event in May in Rio, Brazil.
Thank you very much, Chris. Is there anything you want to add just before we say goodbye? We've unadopted you now. You're free to go. While we watch the game, is there anything about the pick and ban that you want to touch on?
I don't want to really touch on the pick and ban because we already went over that, but I will say, once again, thank you so much to our players. Thank you for today. Thank you for coming. The creators, the casters, our dev team, thank you so much.
And we thank you as well. It's a joint effort. There are a lot of people who worked tirelessly for countless hours to make not just SiegeX happen, but this SiegeX showcase. Lots of people behind the scenes. You get to hear and see our faces, but we're not here without the other people who are operating the cameras, the mics, production, and all of that. So a heartfelt thank you to them as well. So
there we go.
You're supposed to
there
clap.
we go.
You're supposed to clap too.
Caught on in the end.
Now, one of the things that was touched on by the devs was that destructible ingredients, and we saw it immediately. Meaty Marley meleeing the fire extinguisher, and another one just went as well. Now, you can wait and let those destructible ingredients go off in the cut and thrust of a match. Or if you think that they might hinder you, you can get rid of them real early on. There's variations to it.
Again, it adds that core element of Siege that we all know and love, that you can outsmart an opponent. You can just get rid of it entirely. I love that you are able to, whether you want to deal with it or you can get rid of it right away. It gives that option, which I always can appreciate, that it's not necessarily forced. But again, the fact that this is now another element in these maps, such as Clubhouse, does change the dynamic of how this map can be played. For me, instantly, when I think about rotating, you hit that active ingredient to make those pipelines go off, to cut off that rotate, whether that's an attacker, whether that's a defender doing that, it just creates another element to Siege.
Now the teams on your screen, as you can see, on the bottom portion, Skittles, Eldit, Macy J, Varsity Gaming, and Yo Boy Roy on one side. And speak of Roy, you said his biceps looked a little bit smaller, but the man is carrying his team at the moment.
You know, I think he got his workout in. I think the blood's flowing in the biceps. They're filled now. I mean, he got it 2K. He just hit a frost mat, so honestly, leg day isn't looking too great. Can't lift that up unless you don't have a strong core, so we might have to take that back for the next round. But I mean, 1v1.
Clutches it out.
They took him to the academy.
They did. First round on the new look of Clubhouse. By the way, Clubhouse is one of the 5 maps that have received a visual update slash visual overhaul. And as Chris mentioned, we don't just have the pick and ban at the start of the match anymore. You ban operators between rounds. So in round number 1, the attackers didn't want to deal with the Valkyrie, so they got rid of it. The defenders didn't want to deal with a Monty, and now they don't want to deal with the Blackbeard. Hey, let me say this. This isn't an esport event, but even the casual community says, we don't want to play with shields. Let's get rid of them. So a Blackbeard ban and a Bandit ban, and the one thing that you can lean upon from your experience playing is a Bandit ban by the attackers comes in because you are expecting your defending opponents to go to a certain bomb site. Now, it looks like Team Meaty Marley will go down to basement, where Bandit isn't necessarily as critical. Kai tends to be a stronger operator here, but no Bandit means that church wall downstairs, it's gonna stay intact and will require some other type of denial, which, by the way, Meaty Marley, his team is not bringing at all.
Yeah, and again, it creates a completely
What is this? For those who are new to Rainbow Six Siege, don't do that. What is that?
Hey, it's okay to do that. This could be used in a way that we've never seen before.
Do you think that we're about to witness a new competitive esport meta?
Absolutely.
With a triple unreinforced panel and a lone mirror window?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lone mirror
in
window?
Siege? It's endless opportunities, abilities. I just saw 3 cap cans at the front of that door. I don't typically see that. So the fact that we're seeing a mirror on an unreinforced church wall, it makes sense. Going for a spawn kill here, but Ross can't get it done. But back to your point of just, you know, the getting rid of certain operators through and through without each round instead of it being at the very forefront of it, again, create such a different level in how you want to approach Siege. And that's always been the beautiful thing about Siege, is you can't get too comfortable. The meta is constantly shifting. And I think we can all agree that you need to be on your toes when you're playing Siege.
Yes, Marley, yes.
Thank you to Rolo for showing us how the weapon inspect plays in. I will say, with all the changes we've seen, the audience did seem the loudest at the weapon inspect. It has been
rightfully so, but I gotta also
very
say,
well received.
The visual enhancements as well. Clubhouse looks absolutely beautiful.
That drywall looks like it was put up yesterday.
I think you could smell it if you were a lot.
I can. It smells like a new build. Which, by the way, seems like CJX is. Now, we both come from esports, so we're going to take some time to actually cast this like a real esports match. We'll also take some time to be a bit more casual in the way we go about this. And all of these players currently competing know Clubhouse. It's one of the oldest maps. It came with the game in launch. It was the first map to receive an update, tweaking it to make it more competitive for where Siege was at. As the game evolved and we got more operators, maps became harder to defend, harder to attack, and they needed some refreshments. Clubhouse was the first map to get it. There have been a couple since, Oregon, Cafe, Chalet, etc. Varsity Gaming's out here. Farming clips, but it's
talking about Varsity just got put down.
Macy and Narco as the last two left. Diffuser running away, and a counter disable as Macy sweeps in. Macy! And he blows the doors off of the defense. Macy as well, one of the OGs, making content since the game basically first launched. There's a lot of Siege veterans and Siege royalty, if you could say that, in this lobby.
Without a doubt, and of course Macy's gonna know how to manage those plants. I mean, you see his videos that he uploads. Macy does a very good job at capturing how Siege is played at a tactical mindset. He has a very, very good understanding of the ability to outplay an opponent. And again, for that post plant, easy, he gets it done. But again, seeing these bans come out, now the Dokkaebi makes sense. Vigil on a Clubhouse, little skeptical of that ban coming through. I think there are some operators on that list that you could get rid of that would help you on those defensive halves. But, oh wait, no, I believe that's the attacking half. That is my correction. I don't think for the attackers you really need to get rid of a Vigil on here. But again, the fact that you are now able to just get rid of these many operators throughout the game, it's a completely different look.
We are running out of time for you to get access to the dual front beta. So if you are just tuning in, hurry. Link your Ubisoft account with Twitch and then watch either this stream or one of our partnered streamers, and you'll gain access to the beta code after about a half hour or so. You hope that Team Meaty Marley are able to bring this one back, because typically Clubhouse is a defender-sided map. The fact that Team Skittles are already off to the races with 2 rounds is a bit abnormal for what we see out of Clubhouse. But hey, it is a show match. This is not the epitome of competitive, and most importantly, it's not an esports competition.
Well, I think it's just, when you look at Roy and you look at Varsity, he's kind of just taking him to school, and Roy's taking him to the gym. They're both educating Team Meaty Marley on some degree.
Yeah. It's a cheeky little angle that we just saw from Rolo in a spot that was popularized in esports called the Adam spot, as there was a player named Adam who at one point in time hid there as a Vigil, went undetected, and then got an ace as he came back. What on earth? Atheno capitalizing off of that. Rasco trading back as Varsity gets 1 for Team Skittles. I feel like I caster cursed this team, Gabe, as it's only Yo Boy Roy and Eldid as the last remaining. They'll plunge through the smoke of that fire extinguisher in the hallway. Marley lets the sledge of Yo Boy Roy swing by. We're not even a minute in, but Rolo blows things up with a nitro cell, and Team Meaty Marley is on the board.
There we go. Get the 2-piece with the C4 from Rolo. Again, that's going to be a TikTok clip that I'm sure she's going to upload as soon as possible.
They're all farming clips. They're all farming clips.
Okay.
Side swap has now come in, so as was discussed by Chris, but Gabe, you can touch upon, when you're on attack, you ban a defender.
Correct.
When you are a defender, you ban an attacker. So gone are whether you want to remove one or the other. Now it's just locked in, you tackle it head on. Team Skittles, whatever bomb site they go to, which looks like it'll be one of the upstairs bomb sites, CCTV and cache, they don't want to deal with the thermite. Thermite is so strong on this bomb site, not just to open up that CCTV wall, but additionally to open up the other portion of the upstairs, which would be the jacuzzi wall or the construction wall. It's going to hinder the attackers.
Which we are not only seeing a bandit brought successfully, but we are also seeing that mute just for that little extra bit of reinforcement to make sure that any bit of denial on those walls is going to be warded off. But that goes into, once again, the picks and bans. That the fact that it falls off on behalf, that you are now seeing what the other team had to go against, what that defending side wasn't successful with, you can essentially get rid of once you get to that level and know exactly kind of the approach and how you want to play your defenses or how you want to play your attackers just based off that first half.
Bomb located by attackers.
Looking like it's going to be a pretty default setup from the side of Team Skills. Nothing too crazy here. I am expecting Varsity to either bandit trick this wall, which I think that's what we're going to see here. We're going to bandit trick the server wall. And then the real question is, how is Team Needy Marley going to play into this attack?
For those that are unfamiliar with Siege, and I mean, I suspect there's a few people watching who haven't had full hands-on experience with the game, when you reinforce a wall, it means that you need a specific gadget to cut through that steel reinforcement. Thermite is one of those operators. He was the one that was banned by Team Skittles. You see that Rasco, playing that ace, will have access to it. Atheno also has access to one of those gadgets. When a bandit puts down those batteries, it electrifies the wall, which prevents that hard breach gadget from going off. Varsity just put down a new battery, destroying one of the gadgets, but he wasn't able to get both walls in time. So there is now an opening through that reinforced wall that the attackers can use to their advantage, but holes work both ways. Defenders can use it too.
And the question is, I mean, we have a lot of intel. We've always stressed throughout Siege, intel, 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 and we have that not only with the Valkyrie, but then with the Echo. So it's a question of they have nothing to find these cameras. They have to be vigilant of where they're planting, where they're going to be trying to entry from, and seeing if they can find this intel where I am going to be expecting Team Skittles to be utilizing that to the best of their ability. And we could see an engagement here happening in construction where we do see Varsity go down. He's now getting taken to the gym from Atheno, and it's not looking too good for Skittles.
I mean, when you're playing on Bandit, your primary job is to keep those walls electrified. And
correct.
Varsity did that for the most part. To die early, we were about halfway through the round, it's not terrible. I mean, you never want to be the team to give up the first kill. Skittles does trade it back a little bit later, and then Roy will give the advantage to Skittles. They sacrificed Varsity, and I guess the rest of the team was like, now we can play a little bit better. And they very quickly turned this around. Now Skittles is on the board for this round as well. Every single player in the lobby with a kill. The team's evenly balanced to this point. And boy, oh boy, what a heady task for Rasco and Atheno. On the right side of your screen, you see our free cam showing off part of the objective, but Team Skittles is just indomitable. Macy J closing out the round again. Team Skittles had surrendered the previous round to Team Needy Marley, but Team Skittles going back to a 2-round lead.
Again, it's that information game. They were playing beautifully with that, going for spawn peaks, running out, capitalizing on those moments as we just saw in that last where Skittles jumps out the window, grabs that kill onto Atheno. So again, this is going to be important when you're going into this ban phase. What is your opponent using that is catching you off guard? Get rid of that information. We aren't going to get rid of that information. So that's a little unfortunate, but to say the least for Roy, I think he's going to be a little actually, no, they banned that. So Roy is actually banning his favorite character of Castle. That's kind of a questionable choice on my end because, as we know, he loves Castle. Everyone knows he loves Castle. He makes strats with Castle, and now he's eliminating. So then it makes me question then, are they getting rid of the Castle because they know exactly that they're going to try to copy Roy's strats that we've seen through and through on all social medias?
We are very quickly on match point. With a show match, we are playing by the ranked rules. So if you are new to Rainbow Six Siege, or I guess Siege X, as we call it now, this is where the end comes for Team Meaty Marley unless they're capable of winning on attack. Again, Clubhouse is a very defender-sided map. If you play this map, the defenders should win the lion's share of rounds. Team Meaty Marley dropped the ball when they were playing as defenders. Team Skittles did not do that on their maiden voyage of defense. Will they prolong this series, or will that be it for our show match? I thought the teams were a little bit more balanced. I'm a little disappointed that Team Meaty Marley have fallen by the wayside. Marley in particular, it's his namesake. Both of his kills only coming in the first round.
I was just going to say, it looks like Team Skittles is actually playing into their setup. We're on the other end on Meaty Marley's. We were kind of seeing, you know, a little unorthodox setup. It's not to say that unorthodox gameplay doesn't work in a game like Siege, but from what we're seeing just at the basic level, Team Skittles is definitely trying to set up properly and close it out here at a 4-1. Oh! He does catch the mirror, your boy
Finally.
Roy. He did try to do what Meaty Marley, I believe, was successful in, but couldn't get it done. To continue on, Marley is going to clear with this Nomad. No one's droning for him. This is where you need to be droning. This is key. Quick engagement. Puck ends up capitalizing on it. Now they're in a 5v3. This is actually looking very good. So as you know, I was commending on Team Skittles. There we go. We see that ingredient being displayed right there to block off any rotates going down in those main lobby stairs. Wonderful catch from our observers. But again, this is looking good for Meaty Marley. They just have to play this man advantage.
And these players in the lobby likely have hundreds to even thousands of hours playing on Clubhouse. None of those hours played with the destructible ingredients. So I appreciate the fact that they're trying to use them, because it wouldn't be second nature to me. I wouldn't think, oh, I need to shoot one of these fire extinguishers. Oh, I need to pop one of the pipes. I would be thinking, bog standard executes, let's do what needs to be done, but they're showing off some of the changes to Core Siege, and Rasco flattens Macy J. As it's a big round for Marley, and this game is not over yet.
I think Marley's team heard what you're saying, that you're a little disappointed in their gameplay, and then they go into probably one of the hardest sites to try to take as an attacker, and you do it flawlessly. So again, it's going to be a question of what are you going to ban here to try to get you to push it to an overtime. Let's see what we are going to see out of Meaty Marley and from Team Skittles to either help secure the game or push it even further. So now we're seeing the Bandit. I would have rather seen the Bandit come out sooner when you are on that attack, but we are seeing the Ace, so they are getting rid of two hard breachers and that ability of Thatcher being able to help assist with those.
I mean, I think the thing with the Bandit ban is that when you go into that second half, you don't know what bomb site it's going to be played on, right? And Bandit really isn't the strongest denial operator on that bottom floor bomb site. Mute, you like to see Kaid. Sometimes teams won't even run any denial. So if you ban a Bandit on that church bomb site down, or on that church bomb site down below, it's a bit of a suboptimal ban. Now that that bomb site has been locked out, they're not going to go to it again because they, you know they're going to rotate through. You know they're going to go to one of the upstairs bomb sites. Now you can leverage that knowledge into a better ban, and that's exactly what we saw. Bandit is far better upstairs.
I think Team Skittles learned their lesson. They aren't going to play as aggressive. They have a lot of stall. They have Macy on tuber route to be able to use those tuber route canisters and to be able to slow down those hard breaches. Oh, you don't take damage in prep phase. That's actually good to know. That's it. Okay. Yeah, you don't take any damage in the prep phase. That is actually, I think, farly beneficial that you don't take that damage if a teammate accidentally shoots it, punches it, whatever that is. I do enjoy seeing that.
I think it's pretty understandable that in the onset, teams will destroy those destructible ingredients early until they figure out how to use them to their advantage, right? You don't want to be in a position where suddenly a rotate is cut off for you as a defender, or suddenly there's a burst of smoke that you're not accounting for. Take care of them in the prep phase. Beautiful shot by Nugget to get rid of Macy J. Team Meaty Marley on attack, doing quite well. I guess it's just an attacker-sided clubhouse.
Now, I am curious in terms of denial. Obviously, we have many things that can deny many things across the board. Now, obviously, with those pipes, when they are destroyed, it does emit that fire. I am curious with a Zoto canister if that then does freeze up the fire, delays it, and then it will explode almost immediately after. I would love to see that if we are able to, but not sure if we will, but we will be able to test it ourselves.
These are questions that will be answered when we get greater opportunities to play the core of Siege. A reminder to everybody about getting access to that beta code. It is for Dual Front, not for the core Siege game you're seeing now. Okay. If you want to play what you're watching, you gotta play regular Rainbow Six Siege at the moment. But the beta code that will give you access to Siege X is for Dual Front. Your favorite creators will continue to stream for about an hour once we're done the official broadcast, which is in a couple minutes, frankly. Once this show match is done and we talk to the winning team, we'll be saying goodbye, and then your favorite creators will continue to stream. And if you watch them and one of the partnered streamers, you can still gain access to the beta code. All you got to do is link your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch account, and you'll gain access to the beta code for Dual Front. That's available on PC and current-gen consoles.
Well, Parker, I am as excited as everyone else is to get my hands on it, but what I'm even more excited is to see this engagement of the Kaid taking that engagement onto Hot Tub, and then an immediately collapse of them trying to take site. Marley does a great job taking over construction, but Varsity once again taking the Eno to school. It is on Marley for his team to keep them alive.
If Marley fails here, that's the ball game. And it's a strike down the middle from Varsity Gaming. Team Skittles will win the very first Siege X showdown. Look at how happy he is. You can just tell how much it meant to him.
I mean, look at all of them. They're stretching. It's just another day in the office. Look at Macy. He's like, oh, look, this was easy.
I mean, show matches are for fun. We're here to showcase the new goods, but these are ultimately for fun. Teams are going to play operators that you might not see all that frequently. They're going to play operators that might not be in the meta. They're going to play bomb sites that you might not see very frequently. But we got to see in that particular map what the visual overhaul for Clubhouse looks like. We got to see the new pick ban phase in action. We got to see those destructible ingredients and how they factor in to the goings-on of a round.
I mean, whether it's the destructible ingredients, whether it's the audio overhaul, whether it's the picks and bans across the board, we are entering a new era where metas are going to be shaped and defined all over once again for this.
Well, you heard from him earlier today, and he's the winner. So why not hear from Skittles again? We've got Patricia down on the stage. She's having a preliminary chat with him.
Hi there. I am here with with Skittles and Team Skittles. Please give it up one more time. How you feeling with this win?
Easy.
I mean, you know your way around Siege so well, 10 years, right? Yeah. Do you have any advice for people who are yet to get their hands on Siege X?
Thank you, Clay.
Take everything in. It's a completely different game. There's so much to learn. As you guys all saw, there's like a whole new band system, new lighting, new sound, gun inspection. There's so much to learn now. Just take it all in.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Skittles. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you play. Thank you. All right, guys. So I'm about to take off, about to conclude, but before I pass you down to Intero and Laxine, I just have a quick word of gratitude. I have been a part of this game for 10 years now. I can't believe it. Yeah, woo, Siege. And in that time, I have met so many incredible casters and fan artists and creators and devs and cosplayers, and it really is my honor to be a part of what is very much a global community that is Siege, right? And so I just wanted to say I'm so thrilled for you all, so thrilled to see what's coming next and how it continues to bring you all together. Thank you again, everyone. Appreciate it. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Gratitude has been a constant theme here in Siege X, and I gotta say, it is really cool to see so many of the people who voice characters in our game show up at events. Patricia is just one of many that we have had an opportunity to meet at events all over the globe, and again, we're not here without you. Today was fantastic. I was a little bit nervous about this event because I know how much Siege means to so many people, and we knew the stakes, Gabe. But if anything, today should show how important this game is and how excited people are for the new era of Siege X.
I mean, not even that, but just for everyone involved in the Siege community, whether new or old, this is a moment for every one of us to enjoy, to take, and to appreciate, and to just live in this moment and to carry it for the next 10 years of Siege and on Siege X.
I mean, if it's really 10 years, I will be in my 40s, which basically in gaming years means that I am on the verge of the retirement home. But we got to see the new 6v6 game mode Dual Front. We got to see core gameplay updates. We got to see them in action in Core Siege in 5v5. There were lots of goodies. And we're not quite done yet. You can still gain access to the Dual Front beta for the last time. My call to action to you, connect your Ubisoft Connect account and Twitch. Watch either this stream or soon to be the partnered streamers, because we're about to wrap up, and you'll gain access to play Dual Front later today on either PC or one of the current gen systems. It has been one heck of a day, and it is a great honor to be one of the two people to take a moment to pay tribute to a game that has made our lives better, but has also just made our lives, period. Yep. Think about where we would be if it wasn't for our involvement in Siege. You've been involved for almost a decade. I've been involved for coming on 8 years. That's crazy. So thank you to you, the community. Thank you to Ubisoft. Thank you to all who took part. Yeah. Cheer for maybe the last time.
Absolutely.
Thank you to Alienware and Blacklight, our sponsors. But before we sign off, there's one person who has had an enormous impact on this game, and as I don't want to say breathe new life into it, but it is undeniable that his involvement, his love of the game, and his constant work on screen and off has made our game bigger than ever. He received a commendation at the 6th Invitational, our World Championship event. Who do you think it is?
King George?
Not King George. No. It's Jinxie, somebody who has breathed life, I will say it, has breathed life into this game. Jinxie has been able to put a big spotlight on everything from the casual scene, the console scene, our involvement in esports with his affiliation with Space Station. He was honored with the MVP award at our biggest event of the year in Boston just a month ago. So many people are here because of him. This game is here because of him. And before we toss to him, do you have any experiences with Jinxie? Do you have any anecdotes to share?
You know, I said this in Boston, I'll say it here. I went into Jinxie's stream when he was averaging 10 viewers, 9 viewers, and something that has always stuck with me every time I've had my interaction with Jinxie is he's stayed to his character through and through. No matter he was at 10 viewers, no matter if he's at 90,000 viewers. It is so important to just remember who you are, to stay true to who you are, and Jinxie is truly the epitome of that.
And it's not just Jinxie himself, but the people around Jinxie. I mean, he's hosted console creator events. He's hosted his World Cup events. He's got friends that he games with quite regularly who now themselves have a career. Some of them have homes because of this game and the money that they're able to make by highlighting our game and being a part of this community. It's not easy being a content creator.
It's not. It takes a lot. And again, I mean, for everyone involved, everyone plays a ginormous part to that, because without all of us, we all can't make this happen through and through.
Yeah, whether it's on the traditional platforms like YouTube or Twitch, or whether it's on the newer platforms, TikTok being the big one, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, there are different ways for content creators to get involved. And today, CJX was everywhere on social media. And the hope is that that carries forward, because it is really a new era for our game. I don't stream much these days. I don't know if you do, but it's kind of given me that itch to get back into it.
It is, and I mean, I think we can start our duo shit back up. I think we should play together.
You think we should stream together again?
I think we should.
You want to be a brand risk? You think we should be brand risks when we stream?
I don't think we're ever brand risks when we stream.
No, it's always fun. And the thing with you and I, and to go back to the point about community, is that through this game, you and I met years ago, and it's a friendship that has transcended gaming spaces.
Brotherhood.
And it's a friendship that you and I share, not just on screen, but off screen.
Absolutely.
As well. So thank you again to all of you. Just waiting on information regarding Jinxie.
I mean, what information do we need on Jinxie? We've already, I mean, he's the face. He's that guy. He's him.
Yeah. I mean, so many people are streaming and watching this game, by the way, but I mean, like, Jinxie's, he's the king.
He is the king. He's not the King George, he's the King Jinxie.
For those that are unfamiliar with the scene, by the way, King George was, for a period of time, one of the biggest streamers. He is a world champion himself. He came from the esports scene. He still streams. Unfortunately, he's not here, which is a bit unfortunate. I would have liked to have seen him.
Well, it's hard to see him. He is kind of short, too.
And now he has a bidet company.
He does.
Yeah.
I do have
bidet.
One. He sent me one.
What was, before we say goodbye, what was your favorite moment of this event so far? Like, look back on all of it.
Honestly, Parker, being here from day one and seeing everything that was unveiled here, there is not one specific thing that I can say I enjoy more than the other. This is, for going into a brand new era, all of this needed to happen, needed to be added, and it's just changed the vision and what Siege has looked like for so long and continuing to do so. So to answer your question bluntly, I enjoyed everything across the board.
It really was an extraordinary day. And that's the last pun you're going to hear from us, because we're all done. Thank you to everybody involved in this production. Thank you to you for watching. You can still get your beta code. So watch your favorite partnered content creators and play Dual Front later today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your viewership, and take care of yourselves.
Okay, so how do I download? What was it called again? Dual Front, okay. Will run until March 19th. Okay, so let me see if I can download it now. So I managed to get the code. So I should have access to it. I want to say thanks for being ever since. Yeah, I appreciate it too. CGX packs. Appreciate it too. Really cool to see a friend of my school seeing them have the same passion. Mm-hmm. Huh. Mm-hmm. I was kind of hoping. That there would be more, like I shouldn't have access to the closed beta. I just accepted it, and I also should have it. So I don't understand. Okay, we'll be stuck on this screen until I find it. Screen until I find it. I also forgot how. Also, Clay, if you're still here, I need to ask how you added music to your thing. And also take care, yeah. It's just a dumb little question. Like, how do I add music to stream? Like, I did it on my other thing, and I forgot how to do it again. Like. Pretty sure you two might have some. Ooh, audio library. Here it is. Audio library. Genre. Is electro on here? Never mind, I think I figured it out. So this okay. I did you get them off YouTube? Like through the audio part, like through these that. Those are also loud. As well. Okay. Okay. Huh. How do I redeem codes in this? Okay, hold on. Let me launch Siege. See. Non-copyrighted music from YouTube, Spotify, or just track it through my desktop bot. Okay. Okay. Let me look at my inventory. Days are gonna do non-copyrighted music. Yeah, I know that. Okay, so. Well, I'm stumped. in French. Okay, so wait. Okay, so wait. Okay, so how do I implement them? How do I implement the code? How do I? What do I do? Closed beta code. Maybe I should. Okay, let's see. Oh. Did I ever get a code? 4 minutes ago. Go. Am I offline for Twitter? Okay, so I don't know why it's saying I'm offline. Alright. How do I return the code? Okay, this is weird. This lurking zone. I don't know. Let me team the code. Oh, I don't know why my stream is off. This is off. We need to update restream somehow. Oh, my Twitch isn't working, so that sucks. Oh, you were supposed to receive an email? I didn't know that. Dumb question for one viewer who's probably on my thing. Is Twitch not working correctly? Like, is it blacked out? Where is restream then? Okay, so this is why I was kind of confused. So I don't know why. It's the same thing that happened to you, Clay. It should be the same thing, just all lowercase. Just Wildstorm_gaming, all lowercase. As if it is, I don't understand why it's like this. Well, I do now understand why it's not working. It's not working. Why the code isn't working? Because okay, is it let's see if that did anything. So emails were supposed to go out. So apparently emails were supposed to go out for those who actually got it. Actually got it, so oh, look at that. Showing all the Twitch. It's showing all the Twitch chats, not the YouTube chats, which is weird. Either Ubisoft. It should be Ubisoft. Or, yeah, it should be Ubisoft or. Usually I would end both of them. Okay. Tell me it. Okay, this is starting to piss me off.